Welcome to the Lean Office by Jim Lindell of Thorsten Consulting Group. The purpose of this presentation is to give a brief overview of steps to take to transform your accounting or back office into a lean operation. Lean management techniques are based on two major principles. The first principle is that the products, the services, or the components of the product or service that you produce should be based on what the customer wants. If the customer does not want it, you should not be producing it. The second principle is the relentless identification and elimination of waste. All of our organizations have considerable amounts of wasteful processes and procedures built into our daily operations. An organization concerned with becoming lean will identify wasteful practices and eliminate them. The process of implementing lean is not difficult for an organization to do. The very first step is to train your staff in lean concepts, lean terminology, lean practices. It may take several days of training for an accounting department to get up to speed to actually begin implementing lean processes. One of the significant areas that staff will be trained on is known as the 5S. The 5S are techniques to help an accounting department become prepared to adopt lean techniques. The S's stand for number 1, sort, number 2, set, number 3, shine, number 4, standardize, and number 5, sustain. The next step is to create a value stream map. The value stream map is the entire process from start to finish for any process within the organization. In the macro sense, it would be the beginning of research and design all the way through the production of the product to the customer's acceptance and final disposition of the product. For the accounting department, a value stream may be the procurement cycle. It may be the receipt cycle. The purpose in identifying the value stream and every step that's a component of it is so that all of the individual steps can be seen and addressed. Once we know each of the steps, it is much easier to determine those steps that do not add value or that are wasteful in nature that we would like to eliminate from the overall process. Once we are successful using lean on a regular basis, then we must learn to sustain the process so that we can consistently apply lean on a daily and weekly basis. We must also continue to repeat the process to continually identify items that the customer wants, as well as identify items that do not add value to our overall product or service. Next, let's give you some easy targets that you can identify in your organization. These targets are based on leading seminars across the nation for over a decade and seeing the same consistent practices that do not add value and are causing waste for our organizations. The first item that all of our accounting departments have is redundant data entry. We have become too accustomed to working with incompatible systems and resorting to multiple times of data entry for the same information. This is waste and it must be stopped. Our accounting departments still have way too many manual processes. Each of the processes should be examined to determine if A, we still need to do it, B, if we still need to do it, is it possible for us to automate it in an efficient fashion? We also must be willing to let go of non-value added manual tasks that many of our clerks might be doing on a daily basis. Examples of those are stamping of invoices the date received. Another example is canceling documents with a paid stamp. Another example is people still signing accounts payable and even payroll checks by hand. Another easy target to consider is the amount of Excel spreadsheets that your department creates. Accountants got into Excel because we were not getting the data or the access to the data from our information technology departments. Excel was a godsend for many of us. However, we have taken Excel to an extreme and we use it on too many occasions, and we have learned to become inefficient with our efficient tool. Therefore, evaluate your Excel spreadsheets and determine how many of them are truly necessary and how many of them also create redundant information that we can do without. Another trick to pick out easy targets that might cause waste within your organization is to compare your current practices to other companies' best practices. You might find some significant variances that will immediately point you in the direction that that process is no longer valid or there are ways to make it more efficient. Thanks for taking your valuable time and listening to this presentation. I hope it gives you some ideas how you can begin to implement some lean concepts for your accounting department. If you have questions, feel free to email me, and I would be happy to come to your organization and do a presentation on lean techniques or a host of other topics that you can find at my website. Thanks. I'm Jim Lindell for Thorsten Consulting. Have a great day.